Welcome to another exciting episode of For Art's Sake. I am so happy today because I have the pleasure to have here on the set one of the greatest musicians of Connecticut. And I've seen him play tons of times, and every time I see him play, he gets better and better. And here it is, Mr. Tom Forst. Thank you for being.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, good
Thanks.
to see you too. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Again,
I was
saying
saying
yes.
off camera, thank you for supporting us and coming out.
Of course.
That's always great.
Of course.
I was saying also I never reciprocate because I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. So. Yeah.
Well, we'll make sure then to, allow you today to go back at 10.
Yes, because
we'll
do
make
have
sure.
nap time.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Sure.
It's always exciting to speak with a musician, especially if it's someone that I've had the pleasure of seeing play, and you are a great performer.
Thank you.
And we all want to know, every time that someone brings their talent to the world, we want to know, what was your inspiration? How do you get from what you used to do, which we'll talk about it in a little while, to what you're doing right now as a musician?
Well, I started at 8. My parents were the kind of people that said, you can do whatever you want, but if you start, you don't stop.
Okay.
So I said, well, I want to play guitar. Silly me. Because I saw Elvis, and I thought, I'm 8 years old. I'm thinking, it's not a bad deal. So I started at 8. I hated it at 9. I must have hated it for 5 years. I once threw my guitar out a second-story window, and then realized my, 5'4" mother would absolutely kill me. So I ran out and got it. It was in the mud, thank God. But all of a sudden, it just started to resonate with me, and that was after 5 years. So anybody who's got a child that is playing music, keep them going through the hard times. That would be my best advice.
Okay.
I did that for a while. I started a band probably when I was, 12 maybe.
Okay.
And I had a band ever since. Always had a band. And then I went to college, and instantly upon graduating, a week after I graduated from college, I went on the road with a band.
Okay.
So I was always going to be a musician. Even when I was 12, I was thinking, that's all I'm going to do.
Okay.
I only went to college because I don't know why. I just did. I guess I heard the story. Some of them were true.
And the genre, did you start, you say Elvis Presley. What, were you playing like Elvis Presley, or was there any other sound to yourself?
Well, we're talking about the late 60s and 70s, which is the most amazing time for music. On the same AM or FM station, you would hear soul and rock and psychedelic and folk music. And I know everyone my age, we never knew the difference. It was just music.
Okay.
So I played it all. And thank God, because a lot of those styles are even still
Part
relevant.
of your, yes.
Yeah, they're still relevant today.
Okay.
And definitely blues. So I became kind of a blues rock guy early on. And I was on the road for a couple of years and came back and decided I couldn't do it. I couldn't do the road life.
And when you say you came back, how old were you?
I was in my mid-20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So till young age, until mid-20, you were only playing music. That was what you were doing.
From the week, I was playing it in college with a band. So we were rehearsing constantly. We were ready. We got an agent. They booked us all over the country, and we were off. We were doing 5, 6. In those days, you could do 5, 6 nights a week.
Okay.
In the same place, by the way.
Yes.
You go to a major chain, and you play, and I made a lot of money in those days.
Okay. Yeah. It was very, places would love to have the same band come over and over again.
I know.
Yeah. And what made you change? You say that in your mid-20s, after doing the touring, you changed and you said, this is it.
It was.
Why?
I love the music.
Okay.
but the lifestyle was hard for me. It just was hard for me. I saw why people get burned out on the road. It's some great things happen, none of which I can explain here, but some great things went on during my time on the road. But there were the pressure of doing that every night and traveling constantly. We'd play 6 nights, travel on the 7th.
Okay.
You know, you're with 5 people, you know, all the time. I see why people start taking drugs and drink a lot and that kind of thing. And I didn't really do that, but I was starting to feel like I wanted a normal.
Yeah,
quote,
you wanted a change. You wanted to experience something else.
Right.
Okay, and that takes you where?
First grade school teacher.
First grade school teacher.
I know.
Oh,
You can tell.
I didn't know
I
that.
can do a little bunny foo-foo for you right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went to school for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I came off the road. I was I went back and got my 5th year, which is like a master's program in education.
Okay.
I got certified, and then I became a 1st and 2nd and eventually 4th grade school teacher. I did that for 5 years.
In Connecticut?
Yes.
Okay.
At UConn.
Oh, okay.
At the public schools there. Yeah. And I did that for 5 years and then decided I need to change. I know it sounds like a repetitive thing. And then I said to my wife, I'm going to get into the business world. And she was a little frightened because we were getting, you know, decent money in those days. Not a lot, but decent. And I started in the business world and ended up selling TV time eventually.
Okay. When you say the business world, what industry specifically?
I was an account executive at Channel 30, which was WVIT NBC.
Okay.
I did that for a long time. And then I went to Channel 3, which is CBS. In those days, you only had 4 or 5 stations. The cable proliferation wasn't there yet.
Okay.
And then after I did that, I got into the cable world, and everyone made fun of me, but they didn't realize how much money was there. And long story short, I know it's too late now, but eventually I became a regional vice president for Cox Communications, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, company that I love. I still love.
One that sponsors this show.
Yeah,
actually.
IEEX the suit, by the way. And I did that forever. I mean, more than a decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain me, how do you go from having a music career to a certain extent, because you were traveling, you were playing, that was your full-time, job, to then going into a business world? Did you leave music behind? Did you forget it? You put your guitar away and said, I'm not touching it anymore? Or did you have that fire in you wanting to go back to being a musician at one point?
It's interesting because definitely things happened. I was in a wedding band that was extremely successful. I made enough money to buy a house with it. And then I just hated it. And I put the guitar, I literally put my 345, which is a very expensive Gibson guitar, up in the attic because I didn't want to look at it. And I didn't play for 10 years. And then I just took it out one day and just started saying, man, my hands feel so good on this neck. And I started playing again. And then even while I was making it up the ranks in the corporate world, I was playing bar gigs on the weekends. And I was traveling all the time. So I was in an airplane, but I'd have to try to get back on a Friday to play Joe's Bar. Now it sounds silly, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then was there anything in your life that is the reason why you decided, I don't want to do music anymore? Was there anything going on? I don't mean to get that personal, but it would be interesting to understand.
It was the pressure. It was just it wasn't anything. If I was more mature, I might have been able to handle it better. I had some self-doubt. I didn't like the lifestyle. I was getting married, and I thought, you know, I probably owe her and any kids we're going to have, you know, a real lifestyle. And I honestly thought that music was not going to be that lifestyle.
Okay.
I had a lot of, I do presentations about this sometimes, and I say most of my life, any success I got was from fear, because I basically fear everything, and that makes me go forward.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and that was it. It was probably more fear than anything else.
Okay. So you play the guitar once in a while you are also a businessman.
Yeah.
And then when is the moment that and everything shifts and you say, well, business world is over. I'm going back to my musician life.
Well, this is a true story. We had 3 kids, and they were all the kind of kids that were underperformers in high school and did very well in college. So none of them got money. And they all wanted to go to decent schools, and we didn't save any money. So we had to take it out of like a car payment.
Okay.
So we were paying year after year after year after year of tuitions, and 2 of them were in college at the same time.
Okay.
And it was very expensive. Well, one day, and this is, I swear I'm not making this up, my wife was sitting in the living room, and I walked in, and she's sitting on an easy chair, and she pays the bills because she's the brains, and I'm the beauty. And she's writing, you know, a check, and she said, well, that's it. And I said, what do you mean? And I think this was in June, and she said, this is our final tuition college payment. And I just turned to her and I said, then I'm going to quit.
Oh, okay.
So about a week later, I called the president of the company and said, I'll give you 6 months notice. And that was almost, it's 14 years and 6 months ago, approximately.
Okay.
But who's counting, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and
That
then,
was the story.
And that was it. You
She
left
was
the
fine with it.
company, you started to play, and how those coming back looked like. Did you put a band together and you started playing again? Did you go solo? How did that came about?
I felt it was important to learn, not about the guitar, but about the business. So I thought, I'm going to go to New York City, and I'm going to audition. And when 15 years ago, there were a lot of bands out there. And it was also good for me because there were 15 guitar players for this one gig. It was a well-known hip-hop band. And I got the gig.
Okay.
And they were a lot younger than I was.
Okay.
I was 57 when I retired, I think. 57, yeah. And so I did a lot in Harlem. I learned all the subway systems. So I decided I was going to do it like grassroots. It was more of a challenge.
Okay.
And then I got into a spoken soul band, which was really cool. And I did that for years in New York City. Yeah.
And you would travel Connecticut to New York, or were you living in New York at the time?
I'd get on the commuter rail in New Haven and just go to New York every day, almost every day.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You don't make a lot of money that way, by the way.
Okay.
You know, once you pay all the commuter rail.
And what came after that then?
Then one of the bass players that I was with said, we should start a band. And I said, okay, let's do that. He was from New York City. And I said, okay, and we brought in a drummer who's Big Thirsty.
Okay, yes.
Thirsty
yes,
and I have been
know.
together almost 15 years. And we played a lot in New York City. We did a lot in the Bronx and a lot in Brooklyn. And definitely in Manhattan, actually. We played a lot in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the genre that you like the most? Because you say that you used to play different types of genre. You know, you're influenced by different styles. But what is it that you like to play the most? Because I have an idea, but I don't know if it's the same.
It's a modal issue. Although I'm working my way out of it, I tend to play in minor modes, so that tends to lead more to jazz, to blues.
To blues, which
and
is
I'm a
what
rocker, so
Okay.
I want to I do not want to do old style blues.
Okay.
I thought it was great to listen to and to learn from, and it was good for its time. But I have no interest in redoing that music. It's already been done. So I like to kind of try to spread a little bit.
Yeah, so you like to blend, and
Yes.
you like to bring, like, put together different styles, like you say,
Exactly
jazz
right.
and blues and rock,
Exactly.
and that's what it sounds like when I hear you. Now that you describe it, it's exactly what I hear. So for the purpose of the audience, I'm sure they want to hear your sound. Can you bless us with a tune?
Absolutely. Just happen to have it here, you know, with 16 amplifiers and 48 pedals. Okay, great. So I like to do one of the reasons I stopped playing with the hip hop band was because we were doing too many covers, and I'm interested in new music,
Okay.
which made me, you know, I've been writing since I was 17, and I never did stop
I was
writing.
going to ask
except
you
for
about that.
even that 10-year period, although I didn't touch the guitar, we always have a piano in the house, and it's great to write on an instrument you're not familiar with, familiar with. So I did that. Anyway, I'd like to do, this is an original song. This is a song about a woman who takes advantage of a man. And the man is, you know, you would realize this probably, but the man is fine with it. So, yeah. So it's called Consolation Man.
Okay, let's hear Consolation.
Late at night, I'm all alone. You put on your robe and you pick up the phone. You burn, baby, burn. But your man's not home. Oh, I come running fast as I can. I'm your consolation man. Not the first, won't be the last. Don't talk about our future, don't ask about your past. We burn, baby, burn. From your bedroom eyes. I come running fast as I can. I'm your consolation man. I come running, know that I am. I'm your consolation man. Sometimes I worry, not your first choice. Then the phone rings, and I hear your voice. We burn, baby, burn. Down that telephone line. I come running fast as I can. I'm your consolation man. Ooh, yeah, I come running, know that I am. I'm your consolation man.
Yes, nice, thank you. Where do you get your inspiration from when you're writing?
It's I get that question a lot, and I'm not really sure about the answer. I actually believe in a muse, but my muse is a little different. My muse gets really ticked off if I'm not working.
Okay.
So if I'm not writing for months and I expect to get some sort of message in, I'm not going to get it. I know that. So But if I'm putting in constant work, I get a lot of stuff. I don't know where it comes from, quite honestly.
Okay.
Some of it's biographical. Some of it is make-believe. Some of it's, what I hear other people say. Some of it, I read constantly, read books constantly. So I think a lot of it comes from that.
Okay. Do you feel that you write more now than you used to when you were younger?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm hopefully more mature now, and I know that I know this whole muse idea is going to take some consistent work, and I'm very interested in telling stories. I want, like I hope that if you listen to the words of that last song, you get some sort of vision of this person.
Yes, yes.
And I try not to be preachy. I gave that up years ago. So I also try to make the song so that if you're hearing it and they're hearing it, you all have a different view of what the story's about.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. And I know when I've heard the band, you guys sound like you've been practicing forever together. Like it feels so tight. It's incredible. When I saw you at the Black Eyed Sally's presentation, and then you're so entertaining. Like today I find you're quiet because when I saw you at that presentation, you had a guitar that had like some lights on it, and then you walk through the audience, and then you're like having that, rapport with the audience, and I think it's great.
Then the band kept going without me. I didn't know where the heck we were. I had to run back. But that was them. The band is fun. They're great players. They're very musical.
Okay.
And when we rehearse, which honestly is not enough, we constantly are talking about dynamics. We yell at each other. If we're, too many bands start at 10 and they end at 10, and we're trying to remind ourselves that the altar that we're supposed to be praying at is the song, not, and when you're live, you've got to do some shredding, I guess you could call it.
Sure.
But the really great guitar players did the less is more thing.
Okay.
And I do that when I record. I'm
Okay.
very careful.
Okay. Nice. So I know a creator is a creator forever. So what do you have in mind for your future? Do you have any specific plans as to something that you want to write, an album that you want to release?
I'm waiting for a boy band to call me. I'm thinking, I look like what, 18, 19? I don't know if it's performing anymore because I change weekly. And anybody who performs probably does this to some degree. Some days I think, this isn't worth it. What am I doing? Why am I here? Why did I take this gig? Other times I go home and I think, man, that was great. But I obsess over every note. Like I made a mistake in the last song. I'll think about it tonight when I went home.
Okay.
I was thinking, why did you have to be a little showy there? You could have just played the chord. Those are the things that happen. So it's kind of stressful.
Okay.
But
it's a good thing. It's a good thing because it makes you're on your feet. It makes you something to look forward to get better. You get me what I'm saying? So I think it's a good thing. It's a driving force behind your performance.
It's a driving force, all right. Yeah, no, you're right. And it is a good thing, and it's a bad thing because I could have more fun. Maybe I couldn't, but that's just me. I just obsess over what had happened that gig. It doesn't matter to me if the audience, I want them to love it, of course.
Okay.
But if they love it, it's not like, well, we must be great, because I see audiences, they'll clap just about anything. I've seen it. I've heard it.
But at least I have to say the presentations that I've seen of your band and yourself, they're not clapping because they have to clap or they think they have to clap. They clap because it's great.
Well, I hope
it's
so.
enjoyable.
I hope
we're waiting
so.
for more.
Yeah. Well, you know, your husband told me to keep my day job. I don't, and he would
did?
know. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, good. So you will continue writing. You will continue together with the band.
Yeah, the writing is the thing. As I get older, I want all I want is people to hear my music. That's all I want. Honestly, that's it. If somehow, and doing it in the normal vein doesn't always bring it to that. So I'm still looking for the magic sauce.
Okay.
You know, as a businessman,
Yes.
I'm looking for that kind of.
So can you bless us with some other tunes?
Yeah, I'd like to. I've got one more for you that I'd like to do. This is a song I wrote about 12 years ago. I was thinking that people tend to, you know how they say be in the now kind of thing?
Sure.
I guess it's become a little cliche, but you really think about it, like someone like me, I obsess about what I did wrong in the past, and then I worry about the future, which tends to be humankind. And I spend way too little time in the now.
Yeah, savoring the moment.
And it's like a train track. So if you hear the beginning of this is a train, and this is called Late Night Train, and you could take it a million different ways, but this is supposedly a train. The sound of the wheels. You got it? As I'm running for that late night train, I can still see you crying in this driving rain. These things that I've done and all that I've said, still running round, track in my head. Track in my head. Someone yelled, all aboard this train. But I'm paralyzed by the guilt and by the pain. These things that I've done and all that I've said, still running round the track in my head. Track in my head. I'm riding high on this late night train. Still plagued by indecision, but no longer by the pain. Can't take back what I've done, change what I've said, but they're no longer riding the track in my head. Track in my head.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thanks.
Where can people find more of your music?
You can find it anywhere, basically. You can go on Apple Music. You
Okay.
can go on Amazon. All the platforms. I have 5 albums out. You
Okay.
can find all 5 albums there. You can also go to my website, which is Tom the Suit Forst.
Tom the Suit Forst.
Right, Forst.
Okay.
TomTheSuitForst.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I can't end this program without asking you one of the most important questions that I said at the beginning. I'm not going to tell you which one it is.
Boxers or briefs? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Now,
I thought I would give it a shot.
where does it come, the name, the suit, and why?
My son was in a punk band in Brooklyn, and I had just gotten out of the corporate world,
Okay.
and I was auditioning for bands. And before I got into the hip hop band, and you have to picture a corporate guy, no facial hair, very short hair, blue jacket,
Conservative. Very
the-
conservative. Very.
You got it.
Yeah.
Penny, even like not penny loafers, but loafers
Okay.
and expensive shoes and nice pants. So my son was doing this gig in the Bronx, I think it was, and he said, "I want you to come," and it was called the Bowery Electric, I think it's called today, and it's a really hip club, and it was jammed, but I was scared to death because it was all 20-somethings, and I'm 57. So he said, all I want you to do, my son's like a little marketing genius,
Okay.
So he had this punk band. They're all wearing these red suits that you sleep in, with the little trap door in the
yes,
back.
yes.
Okay, that's the band. You got to picture this. So he said, I want you to wear your business suit and bring your guitar. And all I want you to do is stand there when I call you up. Don't say anything, don't do anything.
Okay.
And when I point to you, I want you to shred like crazy.
Okay.
And I said, oh, okay. I mean, I trust him. So I get up there and I'm standing in a corner like this. And he points. And I just go crazy. And I was on that night.
Okay.
I was really on. And people started screaming the suit. They just started. I stopped, and they wanted to go to the next song. I was getting off stage,
Okay.
but they wanted one more.
Okay.
So they scream in the suit, and my son turned to me, and he goes, I guess that's your name now, the
The
suit.
suit.
So that's,
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so-
Well, it fits you very well. I think that when you play, every time you have like a different suit because,
Yeah, yeah.
it's blue or red or, I think it suits you very well.
thank you. Very nice, nicely said.
And so we hope to see much more of you.
Thank you so
we will have
much.
you back into the show, definitely so.
Great.
And thank you so much for saying yes.
I
And
appreciate
to
it
the
so much.
audience, make sure to find Tom Forst, The Suit, on all the social platforms, Instagram, Facebook,
Post office. Well,
TikTok also.
Where?
TikTok?
Yes.
Okay, TikTok as well. And just enjoy his music and know that in life you can do both. He comes from the business world, he did it, and he's also following his passion. So thank you very much for watching and supporting our program for art's sake. Thank you so much and see you next time.